It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Hey, my friends. So I'm coming to work this morning to tape this show, and I noticed on the gas sign $3.89 a gallon. Yesterday, I saw $3.65 a gallon. All right. So now I'm thinking to myself, how are we better off than we were 2 weeks ago or a week ago? Then I talked to some friends of mine who were at the Boyer's supermarket the other day and said, Sam, you know, they're keeping the prices down as best as they can, but they're still going up. Then I talked to other people who are buying supplies, and they said the prices are going through the roof. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm being told every day that things are better. I don't know where they're better, okay? So why am I bringing this up? It's because I've said to you many times before, my friends, that elections control our lives. When we're voting for people, they are in essence controlling our lives. Well, look, you decide. I'm not going to tell you how to run your life. I know when I'm talking to a staunch Republican, I got to be, they're staunch, or a staunch Democrat. They don't mean anything to me anymore. What it means is vote for the person who has proven themselves and has been able to live up to what they're talking about. Today I have back on the show Representative Mike Cabell. No stranger to this area whatsoever. Mike's on the 117th district. Interesting things, my friends. Remember I said check people out, what they've done? So Mike ran on the campaign for 2 years ago. And he said, this is what I want to accomplish. This is what I'd like to do, okay? And I said, okay, fine. I opened up to everybody. He was on the show along with everybody else. And then for 2 years, he went to the state legislature and began to fight for his constituents. And so at that particular point in time, now he's doing a great job. Record shows, facts show, but they want to get rid of him. They want to get rid of a person who has been doing the job for us, all right? They want to get rid of him. And I think to myself, what's the agenda here? Is it the DNC? I know there's a lot of great Democrats out there, but is it the DNC? Is this all this dark? Why do they want to get rid of a person who is wholesome, a person who is family-oriented, a person who's proved himself? Why do they want to get rid of him? So, Mr. Cabell, could you answer that question for me? Why do they want to get rid of you? You're such a bad guy.
Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you for having us. And it's a good question. And my wife and I, Chelsea, asked.
And I'm going to welcome. Yeah. Listen, leave me the thunder for inducing Chelsea.
We asked ourselves that a lot, and I really can't figure it out. I mean, I've been in for about 15 months, and I've done nothing but, as you know, the Democrats control the House now, and I've done nothing but go down and fight the progressive agenda, vote no on the bloated budget, vote no on all the gun bills, continue to vote the way my constituents asked me to do so, and there's just a lot of outside organizations. It's the talk of Harrisburg. I was in Harrisburg this week, and they can't figure out why me, because they know me. They see my voting record. They're on the inside, so they understand how conservative I am and my values, and nobody could really figure out what the issue is there and why we have this dark money and these outside organizations coming after me so hard.
It's amazing to me. Like I said, I've been around a long time. I've over 6,000 shows. I've interviewed so many people, great people and a lot of phony people. I found you to be honest and sincere, and that's why you're on the show. And it's a paid show, as we know. But, you know, Chelsea, that's Mike's wife, Chelsea Sidari, who know the family very well, and you have 2 little children, Julian and Theo.
Yeah.
We'll get to those 2 guys in a second. As a wife, okay, and very active, and coming from a, family that's been always helping people out.
Yeah.
As a wife, when you see things like this that are untrue,
yeah,
you don't mind saying, you know what, Mike, this is true.
Yeah.
Okay, look, you did it.
100%.
It's true. Okay, and then do you deserve it? Like my wife says, I told you not to eat that. Now you got blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay, shut up, Sammy, and take the consequences.
Absolutely.
How do you fit in here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been disheartening, but we knew what we signed up for. We knew that we were going to be in the public and people are going to have opinions, and that's okay. But it seems like it's been made just a smear campaign or complete lies. I've seen Michael over the past 15 months work so hard, and originally when we sat down to decide to do this, we talked about it, and it really was mostly about our kids. We live in the area, we love the area, we're pretty active in the area. Michael is pretty modest about it, but our son is 12 years old. He's coached every single team that he's been on. We try to make field trips and all those things, and it really was, we want to do our best to do good for the community.
You see what you're doing though, Chelsea, you're doing something wrong, because the wacko liberal DNC, who want to destroy families, like Hollywood wants to destroy families, they don't like to hear that.
No.
They don't like to hear that you're family oriented and you're working. They want to destroy you, like these flyers want to destroy good people, If they came up with facts, I can understand that. So, see, and that's the thing that hurts. And that's the thing that's why I'm so vehement about this, where these people actually lie, lie and try, and then get on the phone and then do phoners and saying, would you vote for this guy who just blah, 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 blah. And if they didn't watch a show like this or get information, that's the thing that bothers me. Doesn't it bother you? Oh, I know it bothers you.
It breaks my heart. I mean, we're putting so much time and effort. We're trying to get to every door we possibly can, me and Michael, because that's the best way to get the word out and stuff like this. And really, I didn't expect to have such an attack from, all of these outside groups. They're coming in. There's a ton of money being thrown at his race. So,
you wonder why, don't you, Chelsea? I mean, what do you think the reason is, in your estimate?
Honestly, I don't know. It's because I feel like Michael's doing a really great job. He's been in Harrisburg a ton. It seems to me that it's self-serving. I don't know who it's going to benefit, but I know that it's not going to help the 117th,
It's sometimes I've seen politics, and what I've seen in the last 4 years is actually disgraceful. How they destroyed the family, how they're making women feel that abortions are good for them, killing an unborn baby. As a woman, having a family, yes, when someone gets pregnant, it's sometimes good, sometimes, but there's so many thousands of people that want children, and it's a matter of saving them, but they think nothing of that. They think nothing and so if they have that kind of mentality about killing an unborn baby, and you've been endorsed by pro-life, and God forbid you should want to keep unborn babies alive. What's wrong with you? You should be like Hollywood and make sure that you can kill them as fast as you make them. That's something that just breaks my heart. It just breaks my heart. Getting back to when you said you see as a wife, wives see everything.
I do.
Don't I know that? They know, and sometimes, it's frustrating for the husbands, or vice versa sometimes if the wife's in office. They see the inner workings. They see the pain that your husband comes home from. As well, if you were the representative, they see what's happening. And then it's like when they get slaughtered and you say, this is so unfair. Why don't they bring the facts, such as this thing with the Democrat flyer here, Now this Citizens Alliance of Pennsylvania, I don't know who they are, but however, they make, what are they trying to present here? This is just one of the...
Yeah, so there's been a bunch of them, and they're trying to present that the term now is rhino, Republican in name only. It's crazy to hear. Anybody that knows me knows that I've been a lifelong Republican. I'm as conservative as it gets. My voting record proves that out, by the way. If you actually dig in, and we had to send a cease and desist to that group, actually, because one of the mailers that they sent not only was misleading, which they're all misleading, but was factually incorrect, with math malice. They literally lied on it and said, I voted with the Republicans X amount of times on these bills. And if you would actually take the time and sit there and dig into the bills, there was like at least almost half of them that I voted with the Republicans on. And then if you would look at the ones that I did vote yes on, where they say, maybe I voted with Republicans, the first one on the list, HB1, that was a bipartisan bill that I think myself and 80 plus Republicans voted on. That was to extend the statute of limitations for children that were sexually abused. I challenge everybody, like, hey, wouldn't you have voted for the same?
Well, yeah, listen, I said before, there's a lot of moderate Democrats that in the state,
of course,
and that they would love to be able to be vocal as you, but they're clamped because of the the DNC says you do it the way it is. If you want this money, you do this. That's only my opinion. It hits a nerve.
Sure.
See, when it hits a nerve, then all of a sudden you start spewing all kind of nonsense out. When you said you voted against the budget, now here's the way, if I was on the other side, I'd say, when I look at that budget, say, look at all the money we're giving to the schools for education. Mike Cabell is against education.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's how it gets
without looking at what the budget's all about. Correct. And that's why it's so difficult for the average person who has enough to do to run their own families, okay, then to say, hey, I heard Cabell's against education. No, that's not right. Tell us why you voted against the budget.
So you started with gas prices and food prices.
Yeah.
I mean, you nailed that.
But we're doing great.
The
economy's doing great.
Yeah.
Those poor people that can't pay we're doing fabulous.
Exactly.
You just listen to the liberal news, and they'll tell you how great we're doing.
Right. So Governor Shapiro came in last year, and he's gonna try to make a splash. There's no secret he's gonna try to run for president. He came in with a massive budget that I think it was over 8% increase, and wanted to make a splash with all these new and expanded programs, and we just can't afford it. Government needs to be smaller at this point in order to control inflation. Unlike the federal government, Pennsylvania can't just print money in order to pay its bills. So if these budgets continue to grow, which by the way, he has another massive budget proposal this year that in its form right now, I'll be a no on this one as well. And if we continue this spending spree, we will be forced to raise taxes on you and I, and that's just not fair. So
I don't know what show it was with my daughter, or Let the People Know show. I don't know if I've heard you someplace where you've explained, that you're certainly for education. There's no question about that, and the different areas where that money would be going, and you broke it down.
Yep.
So, but looking at the entire thing, it's like funny. Remember Congressman Barletta, who incidentally endorsed you. Congressman Lou Barletta on this show endorsed you.
Yep.
And I've said to many people, well, you think Lou would just endorse like that? No, he doesn't do that. You're going to knocking on doors, and you're listening to people. Chelsea, as a wife, how have people been receptive?
It's been great, and it's one of our favorite parts, I think, of the campaign. It's hard first getting out there. But yeah, it seems like basically everybody has the same problems. They're living on a fixed income, our senior citizens, or anybody that has a disability, and they're living paycheck to paycheck essentially. I had a woman, actually a teacher who I had at Bishop Hafey, I won't say her name, who she was living on a fixed income, and she had tears in her eyes because she said, I have to pick when I could, sorry, I'm gonna get like teary-eyed, visit my grandkids, which is unbelievable. We shouldn't be having to sacrifice when we see our family or the things that we eat on a daily basis. We should be able to be living healthy lives. We should be able to, see our grandkids when we want, and hopefully Michael will help with that change.
Those are the heartbreaking things that you hear.
Yeah.
And you say, why are we in this such a mess? Yeah. And then if it was reversed, if it was a Republican or a Democrat, you see the radicals are running the country. You see parents losing control, over the wacko school boards that some of them we have. Thank God we have a great school board. Yeah. I mean, we could get a better school board than we have right now. But the point is, so we sit back and say, Sam, I talk to the people up here in the mall, and say, how do we get this way? Yeah. How do we allow these people, how do we allow these politicians to lie to us in the scheme? Okay, here comes Mike Cabell, along with a lot of other legislators like Watro, Dane, who
great.
Work for the people.
Yeah.
Okay, and boy, these radicals want to get rid of you, Michael. And so that's why they start with this scumbag stuff, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's all scum to me, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if this was factual, I say, Mike, hey, this is a
Right.
fact.
Yeah. I should be held
But,
accountable for sure. Yeah.
Folks, I'm talking to Representative Mike Cabell and his lovely wife Chelsea. They have 2 wonderful children, Julia and Theo. Look, putting aside the fact that the Sideri and the Cabell family been great people, and they've always been there to help, okay? Putting aside, the point is, did Mike Cabell do what he said he was going to do, and is he representing you the way he should be representing you? The facts show that he does, but the radicals don't want that. Why do they want to destroy families? Why do they want to put as much immorality into our system that we can? You tell me. I don't know. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Thanks for making our show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania. 56,000 people, according to the Susquehanna Polling and Research, watch the Sam Lesante Show each week, and I appreciate that. Hey, my friends, over 6,000 shows I've done. I'm getting younger. Remember, you can watch this on our website. For those of you who do not have cable, you go to YouTube, Samson Productions, SSP TV, and watch all of our shows. My guest today is Representative State Mike Cabell on the 117th District. An interesting race. I don't know why they're hammering this guy. Maybe he's doing too good of a job, probably. All I can tell you is, I've said this before, hey guys, shame on you. That's all I can tell you. You want to destroy a great person, great family, for what? For power? Look what you've done to the country so far. Look what you radicals have done to this country so far. Destroyed. Now you want to destroy the family life. You want to destroy good people who are out there. Thank God we have a lot of people who don't feel that way. In terms of feeling that way, one of them, Congressman Lou Barletta, endorses Mike. What are the endorsements you have? Because I find that interesting, why the endorsements you have. Who are they?
Yeah. Thank you for asking, because being called a rhino, this is not the resume of a rhino when you're endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police, Pennsylvania State Troopers Association, PA Pro-Life, all the gun organizations, NRA, GOA, FOAC, PA Chamber, also the Realtors. So pretty much every conservative organization and pro-business organization, pro-Second Amendment organization has endorsed me.
Yeah. So that in itself, and they're conservative groups.
Yep.
Am I correct?
Congressman Dan Muser as well endorsed.
Yeah.
So yep.
So you have all these endorsements and all these people, and then plus you're getting. What are some of the negatives that you're getting when you're running into negative? I mean, what?
Things that aren't true.
Confusion.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's usually the 60% with the Democrats. They ask me about my stance on Couth, which we've made very clear that we're against Couth, and also I think that you don't take my word for it. Take Lou Barletta's word for it. He's leading the charge on Couth. He's been the one raising the alarm, did op-eds, all sorts. He's on Facebook all the time raising the alarm about it, and he endorsed me. So
this is the biggest joke.
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life, where they're saying that this guy, that you were supporting this terrible thing of Couth, okay? And how your opponent could allow this to happen, knowing, and I've never met the person in my life, okay? How he could allow this to happen surprises me. I would be ashamed of myself.
It's frustrating.
To have this kind of lie come out, okay, and that's what frustrates me, Mike. I had pre-election shows talking about how the elections affect our lives. Well, if you have people who condone this, boy, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Scary.
Moving forward, okay, when you're looking about the bills, some of the bills that you came up with, what were some of them?
So, I mean, most recently, because of really knocking doors and hearing from the constituents, has been my stance on illegal immigration here in Pennsylvania. Not a border state, obviously, but illegal immigration really affects every single state in the country. And I've been on the forefront. Actually, just had a press conference, myself and 2 members of leadership, and all tenured members. I was the only freshman, and I spoke at the press conference yesterday on illegal immigration and how it's affecting Pennsylvania. So
until you're effective, okay. And here again, going back to what Lou did many years ago, is what they've been doing was the fact that we're bringing people in. I've been told that, well, Sam, there are immigrants coming in. They're hardworking people. They're helping. Now look, and I welcome that. I welcome anyone who's coming in and wants
legal.
Unfortunately, We're not getting those people,
Correct.
okay? Unfortunately, if you talk to the sheriff that's in Arizona that was on my show, he said what people, they don't see this.
Yeah.
They only read and hear what the liberal press is trying to tell them, okay? And you know, it's...
But we feel it, Sam, in our
Well, of
schools and our
course.
healthcare systems, and it affects every single aspect of life. And we want to talk about costs of things. If we're taking care of it, a lot of times that it's a burden on the healthcare system, on the school system, and that costs money on the taxpayers, which is us.
There's such a thing that we have in business. You know, your dad, God rest his soul, and had this what they call accountability. You see, you're accountable for what you do. And unfortunately, we have a lot of people who are accountable. But then you have the people that have worked all their lives hard, 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week, okay, and came home, etc., and they were able to achieve some success. Yeah. Now what happens, those people who sit on their fannies all the day and just want to drink beer and fart and burp, okay, they could care less about, all they was, hey, he's driving a Cadillac, hey, they went on vacation, hey, they not realizing the hard work that they had. So they want to take that from you, see? Right. So now the government says, Mike, you're making too much money, okay? We can't have that happen. So, we have a problem here, okay? So let's go after the corporations, because what I think, Mike, in any business is, I'm selling this pen, so tax me. Well, now all of a sudden this pen from $1 goes to $2. Right. Well, who paid for the taxes? Not the corporations.
Consumer.
That's the propaganda they send out. And you've been stopping a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, doing everything we can. And it's smaller government is better, especially in the state perspective. We just can't afford to continue to bloat these programs. And the bureaucratic bloat that I've seen, it's been astonishing over the last 15 months, the amount of money that is wasted on the state level, and a lot of it is the bureaucratic bloat. So it's really disappointing.
How do you think you're going to work with the conglomerate, like from the Philadelphia area legislators, Pittsburgh area legislators, who have their own constituents and want to make sure that they're taken care of like you are?
That's difficult. Okay. It is.
That's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's, I'm glad you brought that up, because we talk about property taxes a lot in this area. And I almost every door, I'm sure you know this too, Chelsea, the seniors, they're talking about property taxes. And the reality is, Sam, you will never get an elimination of property taxes in the state of Pennsylvania because of what you just said, because the folks of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, which is about half of our legislature, will never vote for that because it would increase the sales and use tax. A lot of their folks are renters, and it's not on their radar. So the answer to that is compromise. And that's what I've been trying to do, but develop relationships, build relationships in the 15 months with those Democrats and say, listen, I get it, but our seniors are hurting right now. So we need to increase the property and tax rent rebate program. We need to have co-sponsored bills to put a pause on seniors tax. I think that's the idea. We need to have a crack in the dam there, help our seniors, and then see if we could lead to somehow eventually eliminating property taxes.
And here I go, I'm going back years ago. I remember when Rendell came out and said, we got the casinos, we're going to eliminate property taxes, we're going to eliminate this, okay. Lies, property taxes kept going up. There was no break, okay. No. So all I could tell you, both of you and your families, okay, is the fact I know your families. I know you've been on the show many times, and you never back down. Your offices are so convenient for everybody.
Yep.
All I can say is I apologize for the evil people, and I call them evil people. If they presented facts, I can understand that. Chelsea, anything you'd like to say in conclusion here?
Oh my goodness.
Other than you've been great.
No, I mean, as disappointing as that has been, we love where we live, we love where we're from. That's why we're doing this, because we care so much about our community. We're going to keep our kids here, we're going to help everyone's family, we're going to do what we can, and me and Michael are going to fight really, really hard to win. So, and also we're accessible. If you want to talk to Michael, or if you want to talk to me, reach out to his office. He has the number for the election. Call us, hold us accountable. We're here for you. Yes.
And watch out, folks. You better tell.
I told you, she's a better politician than I am, Sam. I told you that.
Well, Mike, anything in closing you'd like to say?
I would just want to thank you, Sam, because it's difficult to prove that Sasquatch doesn't exist with all this stuff. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you giving us the time to come and tell the facts. And as Chelsea said, I want to thank my wife Chelsea, because without her, we would never be able to do what we're doing. And it's the truth. We live here. We're never going anywhere. We absolutely love this area, and we're going to continue to work hard, win or lose. We're staying in this area, and we're going to continue to work in the community and make it a better place.
I wish you the best. I'm sure Julian and Theo are
they miss us.
Yeah, I'm sure
They're the best.
Folks, don't forget to vote. I'm sorry I get so carried away. I've been in this business a long time, and I've seen so many phonies and fakes, and how people lie and try to distort families that are trying their best. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. Do we make mistakes? Yes. But to lie and try to destroy a family and to do everything you can just for a lousy, stinking vote to continue to destroy this country like you're destroying this country, you radical idiots. How could you do that? How could you kill an unborn baby, a bleeding heart? A mother who's carrying an unborn baby with a beating heart goes into Planned Parenthood and they just can't wait to kill that little unborn baby. How do you live with that? I don't know. Vote on April the 23rd. See you next time.